day and good deeds. Welcome to the WeDoGood Podcast. I am your host, Charles Dame. We are going to kick it today with the fellas from All Area Roofing and the sponsors at the captain level of the Treasure Coast Brewfest, Jonathan and David. Thank you both for being here today. Guys, we appreciate you coming out and being on the show.
Appreciate you, Charles, man. This is going to be an outstanding year, right, David?
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having us. We're glad to be here, and we're excited to kick this off.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. I kind of agree. I'm super excited about the opportunity for all of us to kick it. So a little bit of background. Jonathan is a U.S. Marine, just like me. Hoorah, Devil Dog. He spent a little time at HM 365 with swinging with the wing, and then he finished up, I believe, over with Anglico, right?
Oh, yeah.
Doing a little this is me over, calling for fire, keeping us all safe. All of us 0311 ground pounders and 31s out there. David, an amazing history of service in your family. I know your father is a U.S. Army veteran, and then your uncle served like Jonathan and I in the United States Marine Corps, and was a hard-charging Devil Dog. So again, looking forward to talking core, different things that we're going to talk about today, and kick it off. So I'm gonna kick it off a little bit with a question to you, Jonathan. Tell me a little bit about what transitioned you from being a hoorah Devil Dog to getting into the roofing construction industry business.
Right. Well, it was kind of difficult at first, having a lot of regimen in the Marine Corps, and then all of a sudden transitioning out into, the real world, right, if you will. But I first started out with Home Depot, did about 20 plus years there, and then I came and moved to Florida. Love Florida, never go back to Michigan. Too much snow, right? So my sister-in-law knew Jennifer, our CEO, and Jennifer was looking for a project manager, and I'm like, you know what, I know a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So Janelle went all in. So my brother-in-law knows this. He does this. He was in the Marines, regimented. He knows structure. He's what you need. I got hired. I went in for the interview and got hired. And let me tell you, not much different from the Marine Corps and the expectations to Jennifer in her leadership ability. She expects us to be there, every single day.
Straight for you to show up.
Oh, every day.
Yeah.
Like the Marines, you got to get up in the morning time. Guess right? Hit some PT, and here we go. Jennifer expects all the leaders in her organization to do the same thing. Lead your people. Be trustworthy. I mean, you know what? Your teammates and everything else that goes, just like we did in the Marine Corps. But I tell you, the transition was not that difficult. It was kind of not in a uniform, no fatigues, right? But in an all-area roofing shirt, ready to hit those roofs every day. Right?
Yeah, it's really awesome. That's awesome, David. For you, what kind of led you over to the wonderful world at All Area Roofing and getting into the construction gigs?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. I was in healthcare for 20 years.
No kidding.
Yep, I did that. I was a salesperson. I worked my way up in the organization. I worked for a family-owned business, actually, in healthcare right here in Stewart. And then we were acquired by a couple of big biotech firms, international biotech firms. And through those acquisitions, I still worked with the organization for several years. So I was with the company for about 15 years. And then, of course, when you work for a big corporation, sometimes you kind of get the axe, right? So,
Yeah. It happens. It happens.
I
Not in the Marine Corps.
No,
you just get moved into a crappier spot.
There you go. Well, it was a blessing in disguise, though, because I actually got severance from the old company. Kind of transitioned, looked for work. I took about a year off of work, remodeled my home, took some time with my family and things like that. And then, oddly enough, I was working for a pickleball club, and I was doing a lot of networking locally. And then I bumped into Teresa, which is a CEO for the Chamber of Commerce in St. Lucie County.
Okay.
And started
Go
networking
Chamber of
there.
Commerce.
Yeah,
Let's go. Let's go,
that's
St.
right.
Lucie.
And thank you, Teresa, as well. And Teresa, after the pickleball club shut down in St. Lucie West, Teresa introduced me to Jennifer. And then here we are today. And it's been about a year or so, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we couldn't be happier either. It's great having the All Area Roofing involved with my organization. You all have been amazing sponsors for our events. You've helped us in so many ways. I mean, from all the little stuff. It's one thing which you do to give out a lot of cash. It's an amazing thing that you donate your money. But the bigger part is you all donate your time.
We do.
You all come out to the events. You make sure I have swag in my swag bags. You make sure whatever swag I'm giving out is just like the top of the line swag you can get. So when people go through my swag bags, one of the first things they always tell me is like, "Man, did you check out these koozies we got from All Area Roofing? These things fit beer bottles, and everybody's stoked about it, and it's super cool." So yeah, I'm really, really super excited to be able to spend some time right now with you guys and talk about different things. But I'm going to kick it in a little bit of a different direction, right? I'm going to bring up the Marine Corps a little bit and some of the times, that we've had, and really want to talk about some of the transitions the Marine Corps has right now. Jonathan, so do you. What do you see right now with the Marine Corps making its move, back to the 13-man rifle squad and keeping it, with the 3 fire teams? They've now added a precision ordnance specialist, right, in the squads, and that guy does drones and other kinds of things. What do you think about that change?
Initially, I was like, well, I don't know, drones, little things out there. But I tell you right now, I did some research, and I think it's super important. We have that extra part of the Marine Corps now that we can get further, out into the field where we don't have to send troops right away. I think we're going to have more data, right, to make better decisions instead of saying, us Marines, man, you tell us the point, we're marching. So I think this is going to give us a little bit better understanding of what's there and what we're going for.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of agree and see the same thing. I've been really impressed with what drones have done on the battlefield in Ukraine. And I think, are taking a lot of lessons out of that. And unfortunately, it is what it is. I wish there wasn't war at all. But, the fact that you can improve on a Marine Corps rifle squad and make it better is always pretty cool. Your time, you were raised by a U.S. Army dog, and your uncle was a Marine. Tell me a little bit about some of the traditions and some of the things you learned from them that stemmed from their military service.
Well, I can tell you this. So my father served in Vietnam,
Let's go.
which was very challenging for him, as an individual.
Sure.
And then, he wasn't too receptive when he came back home in terms of, how the country received him. Unfortunately, that's just the time that they were in. So he didn't live too long, right? So my dad passed away at 41, so very young.
Oh, wow.
But what I did learn is hard work, dedication, and really family values, right? And a lot goes to my mom in that respects too, because my mom is actually my uncle's twin brother or twin sister. Right?
Oh, cool. So they're twins.
They're twins, yeah.
All right.
She might have a little Marine Corps in her, right?
She might
Just
have a
for
little
the-
devil dog in
She
there.
definitely does. Every time she sees a Marine Corps sign these days, she's like, it's a sign from my uncle. So
Yeah.
it's amazing. So, the military has done good things for my family in a lot of ways, and it taught me a lot of lessons. Unfortunately, I wasn't the one to want to join, but I have cousins, many family members that have. I just took a different route. So.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's neat that you brought up Vietnam and what those guys went through.
Yeah.
I always when I'm talking to that generation at our events or events that we're holding for them or something like that, I always there's a difference between thanking those guys because they didn't get it, but really, they paved the way for all of us in our generation. I look at myself and the VA and like the benefits that we get and the care that we get compared to what those guys had when they came back. If it wasn't for the Vietnam vets coming back, suffering the way they suffered from Agent Orange and all those other types of things, we would have never received the blessings literally that we all have received through the VA and through the government for the rest of us veterans. So yeah, the Vietnam guys, that's no joke. But I'm sorry you lost your dad so young in life. That made it for a challenge. But sounds pretty awesome that you had a really great mom to take you through those tough times.
Thank you.
So Jonathan, in your time in the Marine Corps and leadership positions, what would you say was one of the most challenging moments that you had while you were in the Marine Corps that still sticks with you today?
I think the biggest thing is giving the young recruits in that just maybe come to HMM 365 or Second Inco and try to get them to have the buy-in, what the Marine Corps was about. Being a leader doesn't mean, my title, you have to follow or you have to do what I say. As a leader, I have to gain the respect so they understand. Right, and I think by us explaining that and what the role of the Marine is and what the role that we do every single day, and then they understand it, and then they see that little light pop up, right? Oh, I do understand it. But I think that's the biggest thing. Leaders, they got to lead. They got to talk. They got to show what's going on. They got to teach, train, and develop. And I think if we do that right, And that, believe me, I got that from my mom. She was my trainer, my leader. She was my DI growing up. But other than that, I guess that's my take on leadership. You just got to be the leader.
Yeah, absolutely. Discipline, mission, esprit de corps, the things the Marine Corps taught me. It's amazing how that's transferred throughout the rest of my life. The fog of war that stays with a lot of us after we go do our jobs. Plays a challenge throughout our lives as we get into the civilian world, because it's such an adaptation, going from everything has a purpose, everything has a mission, everything you're doing from your uniform to the way you drink your water to the way you fire your rifle. Everything has to be done with a purpose and a mission. And then you come out and you get into the civilian world, and it's just kind of usually not the same. But it sounds like at All Area Roofing, you guys have found a home that kind of takes that same kind of a motto and idea. So when you guys are working over there at All Area Roofing, and you're doing roofs and you're putting things together, what's some of the things you've been able to move in as like SOP wise in order to improve business or help morale?
David, you want to hit that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just really all about hard work, and quality workmanship, and being on time, showing up. A lot of roofers have a problem with that. We don't, right? So we just really have everything in place where it needs to be to take care of our customer base, take care of our community. So we do a lot of work in the community, like you mentioned earlier. But it's just a matter of taking care of each other too, right? So just like I'm sure in the military, you guys got to support each other, and it's a brother. What is it? A brother of bands?
It's a brotherhood. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Band of brothers,
band
baby.
of brothers. There it is. Thank you. So, and I think that's what it's about at All Area Roofing. Same kind of concept.
That's really awesome to hear. So I want to touch on something that'll help some people that are out there in the podcast, some veterans that may be looking for things. One of the things I've noticed and always admired about the company you all work for is your dedication to hiring veterans. You guys do not shy away from giving a vet an opportunity to make a good wage, to have a life and a career. So tell me a little bit about how, if I'm a veteran, I'm transitioned, how do I get into roofing? How do I get a hold of you guys? What is it that I need to do in a process in order to work for such a great organization like All Area Roofing?
I think one of the first things we need to do is just, Google us, find out what we're about, find out what, how we do business. Call us, come on in, tell us. Don't be afraid to say, hey, this is what I did. I was in the military. I'm going to tell them, come on in, let's talk. Because if you don't have the training, I can train anybody, but I cannot train them on the want. The organization, them knowing they have to get up every day and make a difference. I can't do that. I can train you on anything, Carl. I can train you, Charles, how to put a nail in a shingle.
I don't know. I might be a little tough to train, but I would bet you could train me, and I would figure it out.
Yeah.
What are you thinking on that, David?
I think it's all about our core values, right? So, serving others is our core values, and what do vets do? They serve others, right? Integrity, honesty, teamwork, those are our core values, and I know that, having a military mindset, you're going to bring that same core value to our team.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the business is not only veteran owned,
Right.
but super cool. It's woman owned,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
Jennifer, all my experience with her, absolutely amazing. She is an absolute fire starter. If she was she would have been a awesome Marine. She would have excelled and just cruised through the ranks. How do you guys and how do you find enjoyment, fulfillment, all those kind of things? One, transition working for a female owner, and two, working for a veteran-owned business.
I'll let you go first, David, because I want to go after you guys.
I mean, for me, working for a female owner is quite all right, because listen, I have a mother that raised me. I have a wife that puts me in line and takes care of me too, right?
I got one of those too.
Jen is really heavily involved in the organization, and I've worked for smaller family-owned businesses in the past, and I've never seen an owner take ownership and really get their hands dirty like she does, honestly. So, which is amazing.
That's crazy you say that. So I just don't know. Will she actually go out? Did she ever lay roofs and stuff like that? Did she actually go out in the field and do that stuff?
She has done it. She's been out there. She goes out
No
You know, if
kidding.
there's any
That's
issue,
awesome.
she'll be on site. So if there's any issue anywhere on any of the roofs, she'll be the first person there. Say, let's go look at it. Let's diagnose what's going on. Let's fix it. She'll be the first one to do it. You know, like the Marines, first, right? First,
Yeah.
here we go.
First in,
Yeah, she
last
should have been.
out.
She should have been a Marine.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, the different types of things that happen in our area for charity, it is hard pressed to find an event that all area roofing is not full speed ahead and in front of or trying to be partnered up with and getting involved with. So we're going to talk about the TC Brewfest here in a minute, which is an amazing event, and you're supporting that on the captain level sponsor is awesome. But tell me a little bit more about the other organizations and groups that you all support throughout the community and what you enjoy doing with them.
Right. Some of the ones like Elevate Hope with Rena and those guys over there. Jennifer's really, I mean, she's involved.
Yeah.
And by her explaining, you know, like our Monday morning meeting, she explains what all these are about. She talks about, you know, what Rena does in the community, how she takes care of families, and it's infectious. Every time she says that, we're drinking the Kool-Aid because it means a lot to Jennifer. And it does to us as well. We've been doing it for so long as far as volunteerism. We do that. We do Project Lift. I've been a mentor
that's some
there
cool
forever.
stuff right there, right?
And that group of people.
Sean Keel, right?
Sean is
that dude,
awesome.
and he plays lacrosse,
He
man.
does.
I was a lacrosse
I
player.
don't wanna
He's a
get hit
heck
by
of a
him, dude.
lacrosse player. Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't care. I'd
Yeah,
probably take
he's
it
a
down.
big
You know, I'm just me. But no, I'm with you. I'm sorry. Keep going. You had plenty more to talk about.
We got that. And Dave, you want to add some?
There's so many, to be honest with you, Charles. I mean, there's the Treasure Coast Food Bank. There's Healthy Start in Indian River County. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, actually. I mean, we give back wherever we can, whenever we can, and that's really the reason why we've been able to establish ourselves for the last 2 decades.
Yeah, that brings me, almost like you're reading my mind, right? So what I'm trying to figure out for you guys is in the state of Florida, roofing, right? It's not cool up there.
No.
Yeah, no, it's not even remotely cool.
No.
It is hot, like oh, gosh,
Yeah.
hot. It is hot out on top of those roofs. Shingle roofs, a black shingle roof, a metal roof. Oh man, feet got to be burning up there. Everything else, and then all of the technical problems we have in Florida, right, with a roof, because I've had my roof replaced, and when we had that work done, man, the amount of stuff we had to go through for inspections because of the hurricanes and Cat 5 worries and strapping the roof down to meet codes. There's so many different types of technical things and personnel things you have to go through. How do you all stay ahead? How do you all stay ahead of the technical and all of the different things and the weather and everything else in order to, in terms of, your customer trust? Because you guys' trust level in the community is like second to none.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things we do, training. We have to do training to stay above, the expectation. We deal with all of our vendor partners. They're a great resource for up and coming product approvals, going through the different municipalities, because every municipality is different. If you go a little bit further down in a high wind zone, we need to know what that is. And then once we learn those things, we teach everybody in our organization. It's just not myself in production. It's the salespeople. It's a general manager. Jennifer's involved in it. So that's the biggest thing. And then the best thing about it, we're very transparent with our customers. We let them know the expectation. We're not going to oversell them. We're going to tell them exactly what they need and let them decide.
That's super awesome. You guys know I'm a bit of a nerd, right, when it comes to tech stuff. I absolutely love AI and the things that can be done with it. On the technology side in roofing, what types of things and changes are you all making as a company in order to keep up with the times and get ahead of the curve? Because everybody is following this process, everybody is moving in this direction. So what types of things are you all doing in order to be on the pointy end of the spear, us Marines would say?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting you mentioned that, Charles, because the roofing industry is changing rapidly. I've been here for a year, like I mentioned. I've seen so many changes over the course of time, and between now and 2028. A lot of private equity firms are buying up roofing companies, right? So they're dumping a lot of money into marketing, into AI, into just technology, right? So
Yeah.
that's something as a family-owned business, in order to kind of keep pace with those PE firms, we need to do the same thing, right? And we're looking into a lot of different platforms as we speak, so we can be ahead of the curve and not fall behind, because we're going to be here another 20 years, right? So in order to do that, we got to be up with our technology.
What does Jennifer say one thing too, Charles? She goes, what's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over. She goes, we're not insane. We're gonna get in front of it, right? If we want to grow and we want to get better with the times, we got to get in front of it, and that's what we do every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to improvise, adapt, and overcome.
overcome.
That's what we're going to
If
do.
not, you fail,
and,
right?
and
Hoorah.
yeah,
So-
and technology is the place and the ability to be able to do it. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit and go towards that. You talked a little bit about the marketing side, and I know you were getting ready to touch on. It's amazing what AI can do on the side of marketing, right? But what have you? Your marketing is awesome. Your marketing team, I think the young lady's name is Nicole,
Yeah.
that works in marketing. She does a great job over there. What would you say some of the trends or things you all are noticing in your line of work, and topics that seem to be trending on the social media panels?
Well, I think it's really about educating people too, right? So we definitely want to educate our customers, make sure that they understand to go with a reputable roofing company as well. There's a lot of insurance, behind the scenes work that needs to be done too with insurance companies, sending, letters to homeowners, giving them that love letter, telling them that they're going to terminate their coverage if they don't get a new roof. So we have to speak to that, right? We have to inform customers that. So it's just getting the information out there, and like John said, being transparent. And by the way, thank you for buying Nicole lunch last week or something like that.
We heard.
Absolutely. You guys are so good to us. If I get an opportunity to treat somebody that does good deeds,
And it wasn't just
I'm going
her.
to do
It
good
was
deeds
her
for them.
and maybe a couple of other people she was sitting with. So we appreciate that, because just like we give back, you do as well, right?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time doing good.
Yes, that's right. So,
Yeah, because you're a do-gooder.
Because I am a do-gooder. I absolutely am a do-gooder. That's awesome. That's awesome. So on the marketing, you all are a veteran-led company, right? Women-led, veteran-led company. What types of things do you do with that in the marketing aspects in order to let people know that's where you all are coming from?
I mean, Jennifer is a second generation roofing contractor, right? So that's huge in itself, right? It's in her DNA. The veteran part comes from, her father, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Doug was in the Navy.
and,
Went to
Oh,
Bud's training.
what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
So-
He can hold his breath.
Oh, yes.
So, with that, we like to put that information out there, right? And we like to make sure that our, veterans, first responders are being supported with, any type of discounts we can offer in terms of helping them out and putting a roof over their head. We're going to be there to help them with that, right? From a woman perspective, again, Jen is leading the charge, right? I mean, this industry and having a woman,
Yeah.
lead the charge.
Mainly
is-
male,
it's
dominated industry, and
right.
it's tough. And Jennifer, like Dave was talking about, she is out there in the front. She's in the forefront. She is leading that charge. And if there's some opportunities for roofers to come in, where they're trying to undersell people and that stuff, she doesn't play. She does not. She is there. She's totally transparent. She tells you what you need. But man, that gets under her skin. You got to be a great roofer. And for a female-owned company, she leads that charge, man. I tell you, she could have been my DI, and I would follow her to the end of the world. She's that good.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely. I've watched All Area Roofing go from 6 figures to 7. I think you guys are probably closer to 8 figures now. So being that you guys are up there in the tens of millions of dollars in
We're
your
actually-
Yeah, you can't say, but
but-
it's higher. Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
yeah,
Let's go, man. That's amazing news. So you're no longer a small company, right? So
Yeah.
so my next question kind of leads into that, right? What would be some advice you guys could give the guy who's a veteran, other than to come work for All Area Roofing?
Right.
That's a guy that's a veteran. He's got a small roofing company. He's trying to do his due. He's putting in the hard licks, and he's working, and he's going from 6 figures. He's trying to get to 7. What are some of the advices you could do, or maybe some of the things maybe he shouldn't do, and advice you could give those guys out there?
I'm going to add one thing, and I'll let David take over. I think the biggest thing is, get to know your community, be involved. networking and things we do every single day. Not just Jennifer, but all of us. We're vested. We're out there doing the things, but just be open to change. You know what? Be open to maybe call another roofing company like All Air and say, "Hey, Jennifer, you got time? Can I just, can I ask you some questions?" And get to know your community, get to know the business. Be open and honest with your customers, totally transparent, and just, be a sponge. David, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would say, anybody that's been in the military, they don't give up, right? So I would tell them not to give up and keep pushing forward. And like Jonathan said, utilize the resources that are around you within the community because we're here to support.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now we're going to kick it over to what we're getting ready to do
TC
together here on
Brewfest.
November 1st. Let's go, Brewfest. Whoop, whoop. So I absolutely love the Brewfest. It's been amazing to my organization. Y'all have helped raise over $32,000 to help veterans and first responders here in the local community through this great event. So what I want to kind of say is you guys are the captain level sponsor. You've got one other Law Patriot that's out there with you. You two businesses are contributing in a major way to make a difference for this community. How did the connection come about? How did Brewfest and the connection to the TC Brewfest, how did that happen?
Katie.
That was my first thought too, right? So, this will be our third year, right? Being a sponsor, right? Not only just a sponsor, but a captain sponsor, right? So, and again, to your point, I think Katie and Jen have a good, relationship as well. Jen saw the opportunity, and it's a great venue. It's an exciting time to be out and about in the community again, supporting the community and giving back.
Absolutely. Katie does an amazing job.
She does.
You were going to say about that, John.
Well, I was going to say, they're sisters from another mister because when they get together, it's infectious. You know what? They talk about the same things. They care about the same things. Everything is like, they go off somewhere else, right? But it's amazing that what the two of them have done, just for the TC Brewfest. Katie and Jennifer together, it's wow.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I can't say enough positive things about Katie. She's absolutely amazing. She's always there. She always shows up. She's in the trenches. She doesn't hold back anything at all. And when something comes up with the Brewfest where it's like, well, I don't know whether or not we're going to be able to, you don't even have a chance to finish the sentence. Bam, Katie's already on it. She's getting it taken care of, and she's moving the ball forward. She will never let that ball hit the ground. She will keep things moving forward and going forward. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you, Katie. And she's got an amazing real estate company on top of it, Katie Borges Real Estate. And then they have, Fraser Creek Brewing and Distilling, which, what an amazing spot that is. And all they do for the Brewfest and the fine spirits that they have. And, this year at the Brewfest, they're adding spirits. So there's going to be not just beer, but I guess there's going to be spirits at the Brewfest this year as well. Nice. So we're going to a new level, Captain.
Uh-oh. So it's funny. Jen's the roof diva, right?
That's right.
Katie, what is she? The brew diva?
The brew diva. Yeah.
Katie, brew diva.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I love that. What would you guys say is your favorite Brewfest memory that you guys have? Favorite Brewfest memory. Let's start with David. David looks like he's ready. Favorite Brewfest
I think
memory.
Just the crowd, right, in general, and just the atmosphere as a whole. It's very welcoming. It's warm. And of course, you have brews, right? So you can taste the different brews that are out and about in the community and just enjoy yourself, have a good time, meet certain business owners within the community as well. And hey, listen, if you need a new roof, we got you covered.
Absolutely. John, what do you think? What's your greatest moments?
Mine was 2 years ago. The first time I went, we had this nice, beautiful all-area roofing tent. Double wide tent, huge. We got the prime area right next to the stage, right down from the stage. And I think the biggest thing for me, the aha moment, was when Katie and Jen were talking, just seeing all the business owners with their hair down, having fun, enjoying life, talking about business a little bit, but it wasn't that. It was about fellowship almost,
Yeah.
They're just, hair's down, having fun, and that was my big one.
And the music.
The music was great.
Oh, man, the music is absolutely awesome. This year, so it's super cool what they have at the Brewfest this year. So on November 1st at the Brewfest from 1 to 4, downtown Stewart, Johnny Depp, I don't know if you've heard this guy, he sings a variety of country music, rock and roll. Put him and his guitar on a stage, his voice is amazing. His sound is pure, and it's just an awesome experience to get to listen to him. So, down at the TC Brewfest again this year, it's going to be an absolute blast.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go there. Do you have a favorite type of beer that you sampled there at the Brewfest, like a Pilsner and I don't know a whole lot about brewing, but look, I can see you guys are like, we just like it all.
I mean, I'm a local guy, so I like my sailfish, right here.
Yeah.
In
They'll be
Fort
there.
Pierce,
They'll
right,
be
they were
there.
there last year as well. Actually had, I'm an IPA guy, so
Okay.
I got to lighten up on those though, because I can see that starting to change my figure a little bit, and I'm a little guy, so.
Well, I think for me, I'm not a beer guy, but if I
Okay.
do sailfish is a good one, I'm a tequila guy. Charles, I just, but other than that, just, the sailfish we give back, we go over there. We've had a lot of, like the spelling bee event that we had at Sailfish. It was a great time.
And I got to
So.
say, Fraser Creek
Oh,
had
they're-
some
oh.
good brews to take home too. I went there last year with my wife, and we had a phenomenal time there. So
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
would say Fraser Creek has such a great selection of different beers that you can get there. And listen, all those beers will be available, a bunch of them, maybe not all of them because there's that many
There's
at
so
Fraser
many.
Creek Brewing, but quite a few of them will be available for sample at the Treasure Coast
Nice.
Brewfest on November 1st. So that's just going to be, that's just going to be a lot of fun to sample all their different beers. Do you have Jonathan, do you have a favorite beer over at Fraser Creek?
I don't know what it's called, but it was like a strawberry type stuff. I don't know what it is. I don't
Citrus,
know.
a citrus
It's
type
a
thing.
Oh, it's so delicious. And
Yeah.
I'm not a beer guy. I was sold, and the venue there, it makes you want to drink beer.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it absolutely does. So I'm going to kind of kick some things off as we get ready to close, but one of the things I want to do is kind of kick it back to service. So, Jonathan, if you had an opportunity, right, to tell a young Marine one thing about the Corps that they need to take out of it, what would be that lesson you'd want them to look for?
Be a sponge. Listen to the people that want to guide you to be a better person, not just a better military veteran, hoorah, devil dog, but being a better person. You know what? You're gonna find one leader that you really, really, really like or really cherish. You know what? Be the sponge. Listen, and then the only thing I could say after you learn that, pass it on.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. That's absolutely awesome. So, David, for you, any upcoming projects, announcements, or anything you can tease us about to our audience that All Area Roofing has coming up that we need to know about?
Well, we just sponsored the TCBA breakfast up in Vero Beach this morning, bright and early. We were there 6, 7 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah,
right? Next weekend, the Humane Society will be doing a Kong drop on Friday. Jennifer flies in a helicopter.
Let's go!
With Shannon and drop Kongs.
They drop Kongs
everywhere.
and obviously people purchase these Kongs and then they win a prize, right? But then the following day we'll be golfing, right? Which we're excited. Wait,
who's
you're
golfing with us?
Right?
This
That's right.
guy.
I believe that's this guy right here
That
going
would
to be
be
hitting the
you.
ball with you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And again, it's all for a good cause, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Humane Society, helping people out that, whether they want animals or they can't afford vaccinations for their animals. It's again, we're giving back to the community by sponsoring this event.
Always. You guys are always doing that. Well, listen, David, Jonathan, it's been great having you here on the We Do Good podcast. So again, everybody that's out there, thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't forget to do good deeds here in the area, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the We Do Good podcast. I'm your host, Charles Dames, signing out.